I thank you to everybody. I think the Q&A will be moderated by Anike Murrenhoff from Fraunhofer IML, and I see already some questions in the chat.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, thank you very much for the presentation. Very interesting. Very great examples of using AI in order to improve your operations. There are a couple of questions in the chat already, and I'm suggesting that we're going through those first. In case there are any other questions in the audience, please feel free to use the chat, place them in there, or just raise your hand, and we can go through those questions. Otherwise, I also have some questions myself. First one from Andrea Condata is, how is the capacity of the transport calculated? Or how are the fleets integrated and the data or the information about the fleets integrated into your solutions?
So a good question. Actually, I could directly share again because we limit the time with the presentation. So actually, all the requests which are extracted currently in data automation is tied around the unassigned trucks. So as you see around this particular truck, we have a lot of requests that are extracted. So for this particular truck, we extracted only the requests which are fitting into the characteristic of the truck itself. So that means that this truck is capable to deliver execution for that particular requests in terms of tonnage, in terms of size of in terms of tonnage and size or LDM. But as well, if you take a look, we extract all the information like, is it having tail lift needed? And we say, okay, yes, tail lift is needed, and that truck actually meets that requirement. So generally, we extract all the requests based on the specifics of every of the truck. And here again, in that view, the truck view, actually I'm able to select and to focus on a particular truck and to say, okay, let's use this one. And right now I will have, for this particular, we don't have extraction. What's happening? Of course, yes, sorry. I have a filter here. And the filter is preventing from seeing that data. So for the particular truck, I'm capable immediately to see everything which is extracted for that particular truck. As an example, we see for that particular truck, currently we have 67 requests. And here immediately I'm seeing that someone is looking from price perspective very, very promising. And this particular request, as I said, is matching exactly the criteria to be able to be executed from that particular truck.
All right, I see that Andrea has raised his hand, so maybe there's some more to clarify.
Yeah, it's clear to me how you integrate the data coming from the fleet, but not exactly if you also are able to integrate data from different carriers. Since most of the companies right now operating in logistics are, let's say, managing their capacity of transport both from own fleet, but largely counting on the integration of small carriers. So is the tool, let's say, just finalized in order to manage own trucks in which you can get directly data, or also integrating fleets of carriers which are also providing data not in a fully reliable way, and also that part of the capacity of transport can also change, since one thing is that you have your own fleet, one other thing is that you're integrating small carriers.
I can answer to this question. Once we get the permission to connect to the GPS systems of these subcontractors, we can see them also on the map where they are, if they are empty, and then we can connect the loads also to these trucks.
Does that answer the question, Andrea? All right. Seems like it. Thumbs up. Then we do have another question in the chat, which is, do you support also groupage trips or multimodal trips?
Christo, you? Maybe.
Yeah, but Peter, so probably here I want to ask for the request in particular. We are extracting the information of, when it's popping in the mails, it could be multi-order mail. So actually in one mail you to have several orders, and yes, we extract the multi-orders, but as well we extract multi-stops as well. So generally the structure could be in both dimensions complicated. You might have multi-order and multi-stops in a single request, or just multi-stop in a single request. Yes, we are extracting all that information. And when it's possible, we are able even to say, okay, from every particular point on the from the route, actually, what exactly you're going to pick up and what exactly you have to deliver. I would say that this particular part, I mean, we are extracting all the information about the stops, but we experience that not very often into the requests, the detailed information about what is has to be delivered in particular location actually is present. So in that case, when it's present, we extract it, but in some cases it has to be just added manually after formal confirmation from the client. And Peter, probably you have to answer to the other one.
To the LTL operations, you mean? We support them as well, yes. As far as we see them on Timocom and the other freight exchange, we can show them in our list and also score them with our scoring. We support this function as well.
All right. Dirk, does that answer the question? I see a thumbs up there, so that sounds good. I do have some technical questions regarding the AI use cases that you showed, and in detail, as I understood, you showed the mail use case and the scoring. For the email use case, how are you integrating the large language model? How does that work? Where is it hosted? What kind of large language model are you using? Have you tried different models and things like that?
So actually, we did a lot of research. I mean, we have a very strong data science team. I mean, quite a few people, actually, almost comparable with the size of the just pure developers are working into the company. And when we started with evaluation of all that, first let's say we have to assess the different scenarios and the different large language models that were present. We after research we finalized to compare two in particular, and that was Llama and ChatGPT. The reasons. First reason was ChatGPT turns that has a little bit, not significant, but a little bit better performance with the extraction. And it has a little bit better, purely from development usability capabilities, like defining extraction against JSON formats, defining extraction directly from the PDF and etc. But actually, the reality is that comparing, I believe I will be able even to show you a comparison, because a few months ago I did deliver a presentation to IBM exactly in regards to that. Let me just share again. Do you see my screen?
Yeah, we do. Thanks.
So let me start. So at the very beginning, we had a lot of prompt tuning exercises, and as you see, the progress started from the very simple prompt tuning from 72%, and it exceeded 96 at the very end. And this was based on one. And after that, we did a comparison with ChatGPT. And as you see, actually, we have completely similar performance to the both. So with Llama, returning back the question, there, let's say, we have the ability to have a cross, to use the both platforms in almost the same, with almost the same performance. And we could use, and it's going to be two decisions behind every of our clients. First, if it's a decision based on not willing to share the data with ChatGPT, which is fair, okay. And in that case, we are going to lose hosted Llama.
And it's hosted with you at Transmetrics, or does the client have to host the Llama? All right.
Yeah, we are partners actually with IBM in all that. So it's cloud infrastructure which is dedicated. It's our cloud infrastructure where we could host that. Or if prefers slightly better performance, and as I said, ChatGPT has slightly better performance based on our experience to be there. And finally, based on the usage of the clients as well, price matters, because the use of the two different approaches has a little bit different pricing. Currently, actually, for our clients, ChatGPT has zero price. I mean, we're covering the cost.
All right, I see. Yeah, that was going to be my next question. How are the operating costs for the LLM? Because in my experience, that's a lot higher than a lot of people think currently. Especially if you have to make multiple calls to the LLM for one case.
Yeah, but here actually let me say like that. When you have experience using all that, it's terms of optimization, not only in regards to the cost. By the way, I forgot to show you something that, as an example, with that particular client for their test environment, only for 2 months, we already processed 5 million requests from Timocom. And they are operating with about less than 100 trucks. So just to gain back to the scale. But optimization is not only just about the frequency of the request you're going to have with the LLM, but as well how good your tuning of your prompt is against its performance, but as well against the tokens. So it's balance. And it's not so easy to be achieved with having, let's say, a good experience, or I would say quite a lot of experience to be able to optimize these two criteria: the amount of tokens of the usage, and at the same time to keep the efficiency as high as possible. So it's not just only pure the request. Let's say you might create a huge prompts costing you a lot of money with bad performance quite easily.
Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of testing that goes into that in order to have a solution that works finally.
And in a second question, in terms of because the LLM is just a small part of all that, the machine learning element is completely on our premises. So let's say like that, any data from the clients that actually is coming to us never exit. And by the way, even the use of the ChatGPT, if you take a look at the perspective of the freight requests of Timocom, this is public information. I don't think that anybody should be afraid to share a request from Timocom to ChatGPT. This is publicly available information. It might be a little bit tricky when if you're sharing your email, but again, this is an email to the public email, which is just open a request for the, so it's not really sensitive data like so sensitive data, at least to my extent. Some clients might decide, okay, no, let's move, and in that case we have a solution for that as well.
All right.
But again, all the LLMs, all the information of our clients, all that integration, etc., is complete in our premises. All the machine learning algorithms that we are in operation in terms of pricing and etc., all this analysis, the scoring and everything else, everything is just internally.
All right. Another question for the email use case. You showed that currently you're able to analyze the emails automatically, and also that you're able to, through some clicks, generate an email in response, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Is there also some sort of automation in there already? I saw that you said you plan to also automate some of the communication already, but
Yep.
is there some part that currently is already automated, or is it all human in the loop?
So we prefer, I mean, we currently are having several clients using the system, and we are planning the automation at the moment when the client is ready for that. Let me say like that. In the past, I worked, as you already mentioned, quite a lot of completely automated decision systems, even in banking and financial sector, etc. For each client I had into my past. It's a process. It's not imminent decision, because at the very end, this directly is going to affect your P&L. So every client initially should build the trust to a particular tool before to switch to complete automation. Currently, we don't have client which is, let's say, already built that trust to move that. But I will give you as an example from my past. I deliver a system to a client in fast-moving consumer goods for operating with 15,000 of SKUs, and this to be automatically ordered to meet the demands of their clients. So they pass about 3 months to 6 months at the very beginning in human supervised mode, but once they move to automation, they didn't turn off that automation for the last 8 years. So it's really a process, and it's more about the human perception of the technology rather of capability of the technology to deliver. And here again, I want to mention that the technology is capable to deliver, but if you don't have any customer, doesn't have a very good way to describe the KPIs that he's targeting, actually you cannot do the automation. Because if in your operational model you cannot define well, a most successful KPIs for me is, as an example, profitability per hour, or profitability per mileage, or total revenue, or whatever, or a mixture balance between these, and to say, yes, that's my operational model. Here I'm will be feel to be a very successful if we manage to execute that. Actually, automated system could keep you in these boundaries, but if the boundaries initially set are not exactly what you need, you have a problem, not the automation.
Yeah, it's true. I'm also from my experience that sometimes it's not, or companies do not have a easy time to define what KPI they're trying to optimize or what they're looking for actually.
So we are helping them. I mean, we are meeting. We have a different type of clients. Some of these are more, let's say, more pioneers and or more visionaries, and they know very well what they're looking for. Let's say like that. Some are not so experienced either. The people there, but they're still willing to try. For this, we have a little bit longer process to help them to be able to form all this. But as I said, I mean, automation is not so the problematic part. The problematic part is to set the right expectations about automation.
Right. So one last question, if there's not another question in the chat, I don't see one right now. So in the audience, you still have the chance, raise your hand or shoot something to the chat. For me, the last question would be, is there something specific that you're looking for, some specific partner or something like that you're looking for within Alice?
So Peter, probably here is you.
Yes, we are looking actually for freight exchanges to integrate with them because at one point our solution will be working as an integrator to show to our customers every single load that is available on the market. Now we are integrated to Timocom, but on our roadmap is to integrate with other freight exchanges across Europe and to show to our customers, as I said, every single load that is available and posted on the different freight exchanges. These are company partners that could be of interest for us.
All right. So if there's someone in the audience, feel free to contact. Otherwise, that's it from my side.